Hello, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tahir Naeem and we are studying Introduction to Computer. So far we have covered 15 lecture and today is our lecture number 16. The topic of our today lecture is computer hardware. In this lecture we will discuss the hardware of computer system. This is the outline of our today lecture. First of all we will discuss computer hardware. Then we will discuss organization of a computer system. Then we will discuss responsibilities of input unit. Then we will discuss responsibilities of processing unit. Then we will discuss responsibilities of output unit. Then we will discuss responsibilities of storage unit. Then we will discuss commonly used input devices. Then we will discuss point and draw devices. Then we will discuss data scanning devices. At last but not the least, we will discuss speech recognition devices in details. So, computer hardware. Let's define computer hardware. Computer hardware, the physical component of computer are known as hardware. Physical components means that those components which exist. Hardware refers to machines in the computer system. Basically hardware, any computer system, the machines in the computer system are also known as hardware. Or we can also define hardware is those components of computer system which can be seen, touched and felt are known as hardware. Or we can say that tangible parts of computer is called hardware, which we can touch, see and felt, like a monitor, keyboard, or all those accessories which all those computer which we can physically touch, see and feel. The mechanical or and electrical components of computers are known as hardware. Those parts of computer which are mechanical and electrical, all those mechanical, electrical and electrical parts of computer are known as hardware. Organization of computer system. So here the organization of computer, we will define that every digital computer is basically consist of four basic parts. These parts are input unit, central processing unit or shortly known as CPU, storage unit and output unit. So these every computer, regardless of their performance, so maybe some PCs, some computer are slow and some are fast, but all of these computers, all of computers contains these basic four parts: input, CPU, storage and output. Here is the block diagram of a computer system. As you can see that this is here, this arrow or arrow indicate the flow of instruction and data, and this line indicates the control exercised by the control unit. As you can see that input unit, we insert program and data through input unit, and input unit, this input unit then carry out can then carry these to control unit. As you can see that this is the CPUs or central processing unit, and this is the storage unit, this is the output unit. So these four parts, basically this is the organizational structure of a computer: that input, output, storage and CPU. Here we have further that input data and programs are entered through the input unit, then it is and carried through either through storage devices towards the control unit or CPU. Here the there it is primary memory, primary storage or RAM. This is the primary storage, while secondary storage, there also the computer contains secondary storage. While in central processing unit consists of control unit, arithmetic and logic unit. Control unit is shortly known as CU, while arithmetic and logic unit is shortly known as ALU, while primary memory is also integral part of computer, while secondary storage, all computer contains secondary storage for storage purpose, while the data a result is sent toward stored in the computer, or it is sent towards the output unit, and this is information a result is displayed through output unit. So this is the block organization of computer system. Responsibility of input unit. So what are the input units responsibility? The input unit accepts or read instruction or data from the outside world, as we have seen in the previous diagram, that input unit reads or accept, the users insert the instructions or data through the input unit, and input unit accepts and reads instructions or data. Instructions means programs or data from the outside world. It may be a user, it may be from other devices. Then the input unit converts these instruction and data into acceptable form or machine language. Basically, what happens that is we know that computer doesn't understand the data or the decimal numbers or the English or the language. So we have to convert this data or programs into machine readable form or machine language, and it is conversion is the responsibility of input unit. It supplies the converted instructions and data to the computer system memory for further processing. So after converting this data, this converted instruction or data is then supplied to system memory for further processing, as we have seen in the previous slides. So the responsibility of input unit also include the forwarding of converted data towards the system memory. Responsibility of processing unit. So basically, what happens when the data reaches towards the processing unit, then processing, as we have seen in the previous slides, that a processing unit consists of mainly two parts, arithmetic logic unit and control unit. The control unit controls the overall flow of instructions and data, while the arithmetic and logical unit perform the basic operation. So basically, processing unit, basic responsibility of processing unit is that it execute program instructions. So whatever instructions or codes is given to the computer, whatever task is given to the computer, it execute these instructions. It controls other units of computer. So the other responsibility of a processing unit is that it also controls the other units, so that all the processing is done in a coordinated manner. Responsibilities of output unit. So when the input unit perform its function, then it is sent towards the storage or output unit. Output unit accepts result. Whatever result is produced by processing unit is the output unit accepts it, because and obviously these results are in coded form or machine language, because all the all computer functions, CPU functions in the machine language, so we cannot understand these output or results. So these results are converted to the human readable form or in human understandable form. This is the responsibility of output unit. It supplies the converted result to outside world. So these results then are displayed for the human consumption, so that he can understand what is the result. So these are the responsibilities of output unit. Responsibility of storage unit. So here the storage unit perform its responsibility. The basic responsibility of storage unit is storage of data in instruction required for processing. So as we have previously in we have observed in the block diagram that after input unit send its data or instruction, then it is stored in the storage unit. So this is the primary responsibility. Storage of data in instruction is the primary responsibility of storage unit, while there is another responsibility that intermediate results is also stored in the storage unit. So this is the second responsibility that between if half processed data is stored in the storage unit, while final results a final result after processing before they are released to output devices is also stored in the is stored in the storage unit. So these three are the responsibility of output unit, storage unit, that it first it stores the data coming from input device of data and instruction coming from input devices. Then after forwarding this data towards the CPU, then it also stores the intermediate data or semi furnished data for further processing. So after the processing is complete, then the storage unit also store the results before sending to towards the output unit. Commonly used input devices. Here we will discuss the most commonly used input devices in the computer. So here keyboard devices, point and draw devices, data scanning devices, digitizer, electronic card based devices, microphone, webcam, speech recognition devices, and vision based devices. These are commonly used method of giving input toward to computer. So first of all, let's start with keyboard devices. Keyboard devices allows entry to a computer by pressing a set of keys labeled as button neatly mounted on a board connected to computer system. You may have seen the keyboard. That keyboard their keyboard contains buttons of various functions, and whenever we press these buttons, the input is directed towards the computer system. So basically keyboard allows to enter the data from the outside world. 101 keys QWERTY keyboard is the most popular. So most popular keyboard are the most commonly used keyboards is QWERTY 101, which contains 101 keys. In laptop, the keyboard buttons are mounted in the machine and are not a separate board. Therefore, it is called keypad. So the difference between the keyboard of laptops and other normal personal computers is that in personal computer keyboard comes in a separate device, while in the laptop it is mounted along with the system, which that's why it can also be called keypad. So here as you can see that these are the keyboard, and these are the most commonly used keyboard for the computer system. So here is we were discussing previously that in keyboard is these are the separate entities, while in the laptop as you can see it is mounted along with the system. So the this is so that it contains it it occupies less space. We can also connect a keyboard separately with it, or different input devices separately to the laptop. Pointed and draw devices is it is point devices are usually used to point towards points towards the to points and take inputs with the help of points, while draw devices takes input towards by drawing, used to rapidly point to and select a graphical icon or menu item for multiple options displayed on the screen. So basically here basically point input devices is basically it is used to point, and we use normally normally use the cursor and click on the display of the screen, used to create graphic elements on the screen such as line, curves, and freehand shapes. So basically here basically point and draw devices are used. The input method is to point and click on the graphical icon or item to convey the input to the computer system. Here are the typical examples of graphical of point and draw devices: mouse, trackball, joystick, light pen, touch screen, and touchpad. As you can see, you may have used your smartphone, and a smartphone in smartphone you enter the data, you enter the data by clicking on the icons by with the help of your hand. So basically these are the point and draw devices used for input methods. Mouse. Mouse basically is a handheld pointing device that detects two-dimensional motion relative to surface. Basically, a mouse is a handheld device basically which detects two-dimensional motion and convert it into input. This motion is typically translated into motion of a pointer on a display, which allows a smooth control of graphical user interface. So basically here we move the mouse, which allows the movement of pointer. Here, as you can see, there are two types of mouse: optical mouse and mechanical mouse. The difference between optical mouse and mechanical mouse is because optical mouse operates on the laser with the help of laser. This is the picture of a mouse. As you can see in optical mouse, a light blinks, a laser is placed is placed 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 on, and whenever we move it, a laser with the help of a laser it detects the motion, while mechanical mouse contains a ball inside it which moves and helps the system detects the motion. As you can see that there are two keys. Here is the left key, while this is the right key, and here you can see this is used for scrolling, and this wire is connected to the system, connected to the either laptop or system. And here we can click on the left mouse or right mouse, and it perform its intended function. Trackball. Trackball is a pointing device which consists of a ball held by a socket containing sensor to detect the rotation of the ball about two axes. As you can see here, that trackball here that it consists of a ball socket, and whenever we rotate it in two axes, this is detected by the system. It's like an upside down mouse with ball that sticks out. It's basically the in mouse the ball is lower side, while in the trackball the ball is outside on the upper side. The user rolls the ball with the thumb, fingers, or palm of a hand to move a cursor. The application of trackball basically it is used in the general purpose computer, radar console in traffic control. Basically it is used in air traffic control, while sonar equipment on a ship or submarine. It may be used for the on the sonar equipment in the shape are submarine. So trackball is basically we can say that this is basically the upside down of mouse. Joystick. A joystick is an input device consisting of sticks that pivot on the base and reports its angle or direction to device it is controller. As you can see that this is joystick, and here this is the controller. So here the stick pivot, and whenever we move the sticks here or there, so basically these angles is used for controlling the input. Joystick are more often used in the video games, control video games, because it gives you the control, and usually have one or more buttons whose state can be read by the computer. It performs the same function to the arrow keys in the keyboard, but they provide 8 direction movement. So these are the different application of joystick include video games. Mostly for playing video games we use joystick. Controlling flight of in aircraft. Joystick is also used in the aeroplane. Controlling cranes, trucks, or underwater unmanned vehicle. So these cranes, trucks, underwater UAV is controlled by the joystick. Light pen. A light pen basically it's a pen, like it's a pen, but it is used for input, which looks like ordinary pen, but its tip is contains light sensitive detector. But the only difference between that ordinary pen and the light pen is basically that the tip of this pen contains a light sensitive detector. It is used in conjunction with computer CRT's display. When its tips touches the screen, the computer locates its position in the form of XY coordinate. It allows the user to directly point to a display object or draw on the screen in the similar way to touch screen, but with a greater position accuracy. Touchpad. A touchpad is also known as trackpad. It's a pointing device which contains a tactile sensor. It is specialized surface which can translate the motion and position of a user fingers to relative position on the screen. As you can see here in laptops or in other devices, these touch screen or touch pads are used, and we normally put our finger on the touch pad and move here and there, and the computer takes input with the movement of our fingers on the touch pad. Its common feature, it is mostly used in laptop, or we can also use in substitute of mouse where disk space is scarce. Because they are very in size, they can also be found on personal digital PDAs and some portable media's players. Wireless touchpads are also available as detached accessories. Touch screen. A touch screen is a computer screen that can be used by touching it with a finger or stylish pen. It enables the user to interact directly with the display. It can be described as a touchpad with screen built into it. Today, all kind of devices, both big small, make use of touch screen. However, a tablet, computer, and smartphone have made them popular and are most widely known and used products that use touchscreen. So basically, as you may have used it in software in your smartphone, that in smartphone there the input there is because of a limited space. We don't use the keyboard or mouse. So another method of input giving is used, which is touch screen. So basically what we do that we move our finger on the touch screen, on the screen, and a screen contains a sensor which detects the motion of or touch, and whatever we want to open it, we touch this place, the place of the icon, or double click, and this icon will be open up because it takes our movement of touch with the help of XY coordinates. So here is you can see the touch screen. Normally nowadays the personal computers is also touch screen, while this is this typical example of smartphone, while these tablets also uses the touch screen method, while also there are other is ATM. Normally nowadays ATM uses touch screen because we don't have to push the button. We normally have to the click on the icon along with description, and the particular function will be performed. So this is touch screen is the most popular method of input nowadays. Data scanning device, basically here is you can say that data scanning, basically we scan the data through these devices. Input devices that enable direct data entry into a computer from source document are known as data scanning device. So basically the primary function of these devices is it's directly send data towards the computer, and they eliminate needs to key in extra data to into the computer. Due to reduced human efforts in data entry, these devices improve data accuracy and increase the timeline of information processed. They demand high quality of input documents. Some of them are capable of recognizing marks or characters. Here are some of the example of data scanning devices: as image scanner, optical mark reader, barcode reader, magnetic ink character reader. In the next slides, we will discuss these in detail one by one. Image scanner. Scanner translates paper document to electronic format for storage in computer. You may have used the scanner for scanning your document or your picture or any of and these basically scan the image and send it towards for storage into the computer. Electronic format of scanned image is bitmap. Stored image can be altered and manipulated using image processing software. Optical character recognition devices are also known as OCR devices. So basically, scanner is equipped with character recognition software, and its photo scan text character by character, analyze the scan image and translate it to character code. It utilizes light beam to read alphanumeric character of both handwritten or typed one type text. It is extremely complex because it is difficult to make computer recognize an unlimited number of fonts. They are used for large volume processing applications such as scanning of utility bills of customer, etc. Optical mark reader are also known as OMR. So it is scanner capable of recognizing a pre-specified types marks by pencil or pen. So basically it recognizes, you can see from the devices that it recognizes a pre-specified types of marks of pencil or pen. Is these are normally used, you may have given the test of NTS or some other test in which computer readable sheets are given to it, and optical mark reader basically reads the specified types of mark of pencil or pen. It can capture human mass data for documents forms such as survey and test. So these are used normally in test and surveys, so that the job can be done in a limited time efficiently. They are used to read the questionnaires, multiple choice question paper in the form of shaded area. You may have attempted NTS or any other of computer based system in which you have given a multiple choice question and are required to fill the multi one of the four or five or different choice question. One choice you have to fill, and this by filling this one, it is then when it is inserted into it, the it is recognized by optical mark reader. Barcode reader. So basically a barcode reader is basically electronic device that can read data in the forms of bar line known as universal product code into the computer. So basically if you have observed that every objects or every product contains a universal product code, and a barcode reader in the a big supermarket barcode reader is used to pick up the price and the types of devices which is stored in the universal product code. UPS contains a detailed product information is used for labeling goods and stocks in shop. After detecting the codes, it transmits the product data into a computer which locates item price, updates the stock, and print the receipt for customer. Magnetic Ink Character Reader or MICR. MICR is a device capable of recognizing characters written with special links in a special format or specific font. It is used mostly by banks for faster processing of large volume of checks. Numbers and character consisting of check number and account number are printed using magnetic ink on bottom of checks. NCR provides a secure, high-speed methods of scanning and processing information. MICR supports only 14 symbols. Here is you can see that a magnetic ink character reader. As you can see, this is the check. Whenever we give it, the magnetic ink character basically is able to process the check because it can recognize the marks. Digitizer is an input device used for producing pictorial images. It enables the user to write, draw something on the tablet like surfing using styles. The tablet senses where the style touches it and sends the XY coordinate of each point to the computer. It is usually mostly by architects and engineers to design cars, building, medical devices, robots, etc. It is also used for digitizing maps available in paper form. Electronic card reader. Electronic card reader are small plastic cards having encoded data appropriate for application for which they are used. Electronic card reader is used to read data encoded on the electronic card and transfer it to computer for further processing. Used together as means of direct data entry into computer system. It is electronic card reader is mostly used by bank for using automated teller machine or ATMs and organization for controlling access of employee to physical secure place. So these are the two main uses of electronic card reader. Microphone. Microphone is an input device to input sound that is stored in digital form. The microphone is used for various applications such as adding sounds to a multimedia presentation or for mixing music. So microphone basically we can also give input from the mic, because mic with the help of mic we can say something and it may be interpreted by the computer. Webcam. A webcam is a video camera that is used for capturing snaps or videos. When captured by computer, the video picture may be saved, viewed, or sent onto other networks using internet or can be emailed as an attachment. When set to remote location, the video's picture may be saved, viewed, or sent there. A webcam is generally connected to a USB cable or built into a computer hardware such as laptops. Speech recognition devices. Basically, speech recognition devices are those devices which are used. The speech are the speech is an input devices that allows a person to input data to computer by speaking to it is known as speech recognition devices. Today, speech recognition devices are limited to accepting few words within a relatively small domain and can be used to enter only limited kinds and quantities of data. Types of speech recognition devices. There are single word and continuous speech recognition system. Single word devices include recognize a single word, speaker independent, while the continuous speech recognition system consists of recognized sentences and speaker dependent. Use of speech recognition software for inputting data to a computer by user in a situation where their hands are busy and or their eyes may be fixed on measuring instrument or some other object. For data input by dictation of long text or passage, for letter editing and reviews, for authentication of a user by computer system based on voice input, for limited use of computation by individual with physical disabilities. While a vision input system allows computer to accept input just by seeing an object, input data is normally in object shape and feature in the form of image, mainly used in today's for factory for design and industrial boards that are used for quality control and assembly process. These are the references from where I have prepared my lecture. If you have any question regarding today's lecture, feel free to email me or contact me. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.